Uh, I'll be honest, I don't know exactly what this is or what it wants to be, but what I will say is I really want this to succeed, whatever this is. Um, but I'm just gonna do this. I'm just going to, this is just kind of off the cuff, kind of no preparation at all for this. Uh, I just got the microphone, turned on Audacity, and we're doing this. I don't even know how long I want to do this for, like this specific episode. Um, but I'm just gonna try to keep the ideas going and try to keep my mouth going. So this, I had the idea of calling this Relish in the Moment because, everything I do for some reason on the internet, it has to do, it has to be food related, like food themed. Um, and I guess this is going to be part of it, and I really like I like the play on words with, relish being a food, like a condiment, and, relish being an adjective describing, uh, uh, enjoying, taking your time to, live in the moment, relish in the moment. That's what this is, and I think I over explained it enough. But I'm just, first kind of idea that's coming to my head, like normal, is superheroes, and a lot of superhero news has been coming out lately. Part of it, uh, part of it being Marvel. There's a lot of Marvel stuff coming out recently. Superman. It's not Superman. Gosh, Spider-Man for the PS4 came out, and I'm about halfway through it right now, and I've been really enjoying it. Um, just like a quickie review, I guess. The writing is kind of off, but pretty much everything about it is very likable, very playable. I can definitely see myself playing it again. Um, it does have, I mean, at least at this point, it has a lot of replayability. I can already see myself going back to the beginning and just playing it better than I did the first time and messing up a lot less uh, than I did the first time. Of course, I'm only halfway through, so the end can either ruin it or the end can really save my opinion of it. Um, so, I definitely recommend it, especially if you're looking to pick up a game for this fall. It's not Superman, gosh, Spider-Man. I want to talk about Superman too, because DC is also, you know, Superman's a superhero, so it's definitely on the table, but Spider-Man, I highly recommend, if you're looking for a game to play. Um, I don't want to jump onto DC, right? So, don't want to jump on to DC right away. Let's stay on Marvel, because Captain Marvel, the trailer dropped, forget if it was yesterday or the day before because my sense of time is very messed up right now. Um, it dropped and it's really good. It looks like, it looks better than I feel I could have conceptualized for Captain Marvel. which is good because, Marvel's job is to make things better than a consumer. I think that's kind of any movie maker's job, is to make something better than your average consumer would think. When your average consumer can think of a better story and better movie than a movie is actually produced, I think that is when it fails. Sort of like when DC. But let's not jump on that right now. Captain Marvel. I do like that it is in the past. She, right away in the trailer, spoiler alert, she falls down from her spaceship or whatever and lands right into a blockbuster, which is really nostalgic for me, at least, because I did grow up partly in the blockbuster age. So, I kind of, all of the blockbuster memories just rushed through my head when I first saw it. And then it goes on and it shows younger versions of not virgins, younger versions of Nick Fury and Agent Coulson. And Marvel does a great job with de-aging old people. When they did it with, what's his name? Douglas? I'm blanking on his name. But they did it with him in Ant-Man. They've done it with Tony, Robert Downey Jr. a lot in, I think, Avengers. No, they didn't. They did it definitely in Civil War. But they've done de-aging a lot. So they've gotten really good at it, and I'm excited to see that. There's this part where a lot of media news outlets, like pop culture outlets, are really grasping onto, is why, like the part where she punches the old lady on the train or the bus. Of course, there's highly suspect that old lady is a Skrull, and so, probably why she punched her, because it was probably a Skrull in disguise. And if you're listening to this and for somehow you don't know what a Skrull is, it's just a shape-shifting alien. So probably gonna be some shape-shifting in the future of Marvel, now that they're introducing it in Captain Marvel. I'm kind of interested I'm interested to see how they introduce her now that she's kind of this person that's super powerful. Like, she's pretty much, it brings us back to Superman. She's pretty much Marvel's Superman. So it's kind of weird to kind of just find out now that like half of the universe is destroyed, that, there just so happens to be this super powerful person that could have destroyed Thanos. So it's definitely interesting to see. And if she comes back just for the pure reason to help destroy Thanos, then why would she stick along? Because, after that, that's like why not just send Captain Marvel to do everything, Like, minor thing in New York, just send Captain Marvel. Who even needs Spider-Man? Just send Captain Marvel to do it. If she can save the world against Thanos, then, it brings up that question, but it also brings up, where was she this whole time? Yeah. it's definitely interesting to see where this this movie uh, develops the larger Marvel universe. Um, I've also seen a lot on like these new pictures, like these set pictures and these cast pictures of Avengers 4, and seeing all these, like, you see Hulk in the suit, the purple suit, and it's kind of weird. And then you see, like, I saw one recently uh, which had uh not Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, uh with like a ponytail, and her being a redhead again because she went blonde in Avengers 3. But I that was feel like they're just playing with hair. That's all they're doing. So apparently, her going back to being redhead and having a ponytail means something. There are also pictures of like the rest of everyone. You have Captain America going back to being like this clean cut. Captain America. He has this like chainmail fish skin armor, which I've always been excited to see. I've always wanted to see it in like an actual costume because it looks so weird, and it's such a like creepy kind of thing, and I've always just wanted to see them attempt to do it in a live action. I think they're gonna keep Iron Man with doing like the nano armor too, if I'm not mistaken from the pictures. It could have been nano armor, but it could have, I forget what it actually looked like. It looked smooth, like the nano armor in Infinity War. Yeah, I remember it being smooth, like the Infinity War armor. Hopefully, of course we have the Spider-Man and Black Panther and Doctor Strange movies that are going to be coming up, so obviously we all know that they're going to be coming back. It's less of a, I don't know why they made it 4. They really should have kept it Avengers 3 part 1 and 2. But of course, I'll digress. Let's see. Should we move on to DC? Oh yeah, there's another thing that I want to talk about, but I'll keep that until the end actually. So let's talk about some DC now. Superman, Henry Cavill. There's been like these talks of him, in between either negotiating his contract or him completely leaving, or him just, I don't know, he's probably just voicing his discontent with how Superman is being handled and how DC is being handled. I'm pretty sure Ben Affleck just wants to leave as smoothly as he can. I think the rest of the Justice League cast kind of wants to keep their jobs. Gal Gadot definitely, because she's probably the anchor that's keeping, I guess a better metaphor would be she's their lifeboat. Not really an anchor, but she's pretty much keeping DC afloat and alive and in place, and as many metaphors as he can possibly give to her. She is all of that. There's the Flashpoint movie that could possibly come out, but I still think that's such a bad idea. There's Aquaman that's gonna come out I don't really like, because it's like this, such a weird concept for Aquaman. He's like this surfer bro, And I don't like it. They keep giving him armor for some reason, but he doesn't ever need armor. He has like bulletproof skin. He lives underwater. Like all Atlanteans pretty much have bulletproof skin, so it's not like they're under so much pressure. Like why would they need armor just for like I don't know, like a knife or something, or bullets? Like they don't need armor. At most they'll need like, like these giant spikes, like the spalder that you'll see in Aquaman's comics. Those are cool. That armor's cool, but they keep giving him this like gold, like, I don't know. There's Cyborg, which I still don't like. He just looks weird. I mean, I grew up with Teen Titans, like the '03 cartoon Teen Titans, so I see Cyborg as mostly human, but with electronic enhancements, but not like the cyborg that they have, which is like, he's pretty much only his head is human and the rest of him is just a robot. I don't like it. But I think they just want to keep their jobs. But, they keep screwing over Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck just because, I don't know, there's so much, the standard for them is so high, and I don't think DC has the patience to try to build them up to that. So I'm sure the actors are just, and like Henry Cavill is like the hottest, like, not, I'm not, hold on, wait for my finished thought. He's like with Michael B. Jordan as like the hottest actors right now. Like they're the most wanted right now. Henry Cavill just came off of like Mission Impossible, which I'm pretty sure is doing okay. It's good enough to keep that franchise going, I'm sure. Michael B. Jordan is killing it right now. And they want Michael B. Jordan to replace Henry Cavill for some reason, just to bring in a black guy. I don't know. I don't understand that. DC's kind of just, I've had this kind of mindset for a while now, since like BVS, that like Warner Brothers just wants to spit all over DC and just let it suffer, just leave it left for dead, but they still want to like inject it with like an EpiPen so that it still holds on for life, but it's really just dying. They have Titans, the live action Titans, which is a terrible idea for a live action adaptation because there's so much CGI involved that it's just not going to be worth it in the end, even if you have all of these subscribers for your streaming service. I don't understand this. Oh yeah, and then not DC, then Marvel is coming out with like a streaming service and giving like Loki and other like minor superheroes their own show, which I think is a bit of a slap to the face of the Netflix shows, because it's like, oh hey, we have our own streaming service now, so you don't need to watch the Netflix shows. Like, you don't need to watch Daredevil anymore. We're gonna give less funding to this so you can come watch Loki and like Scarlet Witch. How about that? Come over and watch our Disney streaming service. It's a bit of a slap to the face. And not as much as DC or Warner Brothers is slapping DC's face right now. But yeah, I don't think Teen Titans is a live action thing. But you know what could be pretty good as a live action, and kind of what I really wanted to talk about is the last Avatar live action. And supposedly the original creators, Bryan, damn, I forget their names, Bryan Konietzko, is it Bryan, and Michael DiMartino, I believe, they're coming back and like really leading it too. Hopefully we don't have a director that doesn't actually know the source material and just acts like he knows the source. Gosh, the movie. We don't talk about the movie. It never happened. It was such a disaster. But hopefully the Avatar: The Last Airbender live action series does really well. Bryan and Michael, if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, and somehow you have an interest in giving me a part in the series, I will graciously accept it, whether I'm an extra, if I get to play Sokka, who I've always wanted to play. Gosh, I think I'll talk about this later on, but one of my dreams is to have me as Sokka, not Sokka, as Zuko, and having Dante Bosco as my Uncle Iroh. I always think that would be so cool, because, you know, I'm Filipino and he's Filipino, so it'd be dope. And I wish I could write it too. I have so many ideas for like an Avatar, like in-universe story that doesn't have to do with like Aang and Korra, but I guess can, you know, technically. You know, Bryan and Michael, if you're listening to this and you have any interest in putting a random kid involved in your series, if you want a fan's support on set, bring me out there. Let me just mess around with you guys. I'll be an extra. I'll talk to you about it. You know, there's so many fans of the series now that you can pull inspiration, and like, I've always had this idea that, like, if I was a director or like a showrunner or like, you know, executive producer, I would, and like if I was in control of like this reboot of like an established, cherished series, I feel like it would be a disservice to not have fans involved with it. So, you know, if you want to bring a fan along, I am here. My contact info is not too hard to look for. Follow me on Twitter. I feel like I'm gonna write stuff down. I think next episode I want to be all about Avatar. I would love to just riff off of, just going off of what I would do if I was in command of rebooting Avatar. I'd love that. I'll write that down. I have a notebook actually right here. So here's me flipping through the pages. Here, see? There's some ASMR for you. See? You hear this? You hear this? This is paper. This is paper, let me see. Yeah. Alright. I'll write it down in that book, and I'll probably talk about this next week. Excuse me. I think I'm done. Thank you for watching or listening to this if you did. This is the first of, I hope, for many. Anything, you know, I'm still thinking of the name for this, and, you know, Relish in the Moment right now, I think is really solid, you know. I think that it does say something about, you know, like, sitting, you know, I'm just sitting down. I pulled out the microphone, put on Audacity on my computer and I'm just recording this, I'm just, relishing in the moment and talking, So, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here with me. I hope this little podcast wasn't too long or too short. Hopefully it was just right right in the sweet spot for a single person to just keep talking. And hopefully maybe I'll show a little bit more personality than what I decided to give today. I'm a little tired. I have work tomorrow, so I'm trying to keep my energy down so I can have energy for tomorrow. So yeah, I have to kind of edit this and make sure that it sounds okay and upload this now. Thank you for being here with me. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I have a Twitch that I stream to and play video games, and right now I'm actually playing Spider-Man, so if you want to watch that, feel free to do so. Follow me and stuff. And thank you. Follow this channel, I guess. I don't know what channel I'm posting this to, but follow me. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.